Hi, it's Mark here. On Wednesday, 5th of June, a 3-day hearing will begin to ascertain the merits of the blockbuster £9.9 billion class action lawsuit filed by a company called BSV Claims Limited over the 2019 delistings of BSV from several major crypto exchanges. Given Craig Wright's recent shenanigans, this case hasn't gotten much coverage, but this hearing will determine if the case can go ahead or if it's deader than Craig Wright's Satoshi claim. Ahead of this tribunal hearing, we thought we'd offer up a reminder of what this case is all about by replaying a portion of our September 2022 monthly update where we discuss the origins of the case and, importantly, who is funding it. Have a guess. See you on the other side.
While the Hodlonaut trial was going on, while Craig Wright was testifying in fact, we received the filing for the blockbuster £9.9 billion class action lawsuit against 4 cryptocurrency exchanges, Binance, Shapeshift, Kraken and Bittylicious, for conspiring to delist BSV in 2019. We already knew some of the basics of this following last month's announcement from BSV, but we got more details this month and, more importantly, some all-important numbers from the filing itself. Handily, the filing offers us a clear-cut overview of the claim in question, which is this. According to the application, following debate in the cryptocurrency community regarding claims by Dr. Craig Wright that he was the individual behind the pseudonym Satoshi Nakamoto, there were a series of tweets between 12th of April 2019 and 19th of April 2019 in which various cryptocurrency exchanges disclosed their intention to delist BSV and called on other cryptocurrency exchanges also to delist. This culminated in the respondents or proposed defendants announcing that they would delist and ultimately then delisting BSV. The delisting events took place between 15th of April 2019 and 5th of June 2019. Now here, according to the filing, is the impact this had. It is alleged that by participating in the collusive tweets and or the delisting events, the respondents, proposed defendants, thereby engaged in an anti-competitive agreement and or concerted practice which had as its object or effect the prevention, restriction or distortion of competition within, and then it lists some competition treaties. The infringement caused the price of BSV to fall in the immediate aftermath. The infringement, which had both immediate and persistent long-term effects for BSV holders, including the foregone growth effect, meaning the lost opportunity of BSV developing into a top-tier cryptocurrency, and the expropriation of coins from users of the Binance or Kraken cryptocurrency exchange, thereby caused loss and damage. Now, Arthur, 2 things here. Firstly, we're always told that the BSV price doesn't matter. In fact, Craig Wright himself has strongly criticised anyone looking to make money from trading BSV. The line is that price is irrelevant because adoption is everything and price will follow. So how exactly does being delisted from 4 exchanges, including Bittylicious, impact institutional adoption of BSV?
Yeah, good one. But, my first thought is that let's clarify that Craig Wright also once predicted that BSV was heading for $1,200 with 98% certainty. So Craig himself is also no stranger to the phenomenon of trading.
Mm-hmm.
To add, when institutions would need BSV, but well, we know they don't because there's no institutional demand whatsoever, but they indeed need to have places with a lot of liquidity. So it's a bit of a chicken and egg question. Are there no institutions coming in because there's no liquidity, or is there no liquidity because the institutional demand is nil? So how I see it, when something is growing organically, these processes are normally in lockstep. You know, currently there is no serious exchange that is expecting institutions to come in that will demand BSV liquidity, and there is indeed no serious institution is demanding any BSV liquidity to fulfill their needs because they don't have customers using BSV. So overall, BSV is simply irrelevant from all angles.
Yeah, it totally is. And also, it's interesting that BSV apparently missed out on becoming a, quote, top-tier cryptocurrency when Craig, and now Calvin too, insist that BSV isn't a cryptocurrency at all. Which is it?
Yeah, isn't it funny? They try to create their own cringe Bitcoin nomenclature in their inner circles, but they realize that when they have to communicate with the big bad world out there, they get nowhere with their fringe narrative.
Well, they just change their minds whenever it suits them, don't they?
Yeah, that's how they roll.
So let's look at the numbers for a minute, and first the number of claimants, which essentially is the number of people BSV claims says were holding BSV coins when the delistings began. Now, they split these into three groups. Subclass A is made up of class members who held BSV coins on 11th of April 2019 and sold at least some of their coins thereafter, but before midnight on 29th of July 2022. And BSV claims says there are 155,000 of these. Subclass B is proposed to be of people who held BSV coins on the 11th of April 2019 and continued to hold their BSV coins up to 29th of July 2022. And BSV claims says there are 75,000 of these. And finally, subclass C, which they say are users of Binance and Kraken who held BSV coins in their accounts on 11th of April 2019 and lost access to their BSV coins as a result of the delisting by Binance or Kraken. And BSV claims says there are 12,000 of these. For those whose maths isn't up to snuff, that's a total of 242,000 people. Where did they get these figures from? They don't say. Arthur, do you think this is a feasible number of BSV holders at the time, bearing in mind this is only UK participants?
No, certainly not. Like I said before, when you look at supply and demand, then adoption goes in lockstep with each other. And the BSV camp presumes that if these delistings, those delistings which mostly happened because of Craig's defamation lawsuits, had not taken place, then adoption on the demand side would have been way higher. But that's simply a wrong perception of reality. Many other delistings, not only by exchanges, but also by, you might remember, several mining pools, data service companies, app builders, these also followed to delist BSV and discontinued with using BSV, simply because BSV, let's be honest, is technically not very solid. It's not a very stable protocol. And let's not forget the data storage requirements for those who run a node. And the exchanges fall under that. Interestingly, there is this Lyra guy, his name is Will Mackenzie, and he said on Twitter, I suspect they will have a number of people wanting to claim, have done a rough estimate and then extrapolated the figures based on how many holders there would have been on exchanges. And I think Will is spot on here. This is no doubt how it happened. But it went seriously wrong in the extrapolation.
Yeah, someone's pressed the wrong button on the calculator. Someone's pressed times rather than plus, I think. Next to the money. BSV claims and CoinGeek trumpeted the £9.9 billion figure when the case was first announced. But the filing revealed that this was the absolute top end of the potential claim. The bottom end? £51 million, giving us a 99.5% spread between the maximum and minimum expected payout. And here's how those payouts might break down. Class A are looking to get between 19.4 and 20.6 million, an average payout of £130. Class B is looking at a payout of up to £9 billion, an average payout of £120,000 at this price. And Class C are looking to get between 5.9 million and 925.7 million, an average payout of between £492 and £77,141.
Okay.
Now, I don't know much about class action lawsuits, but these seem like ludicrously large valuations gaps. I mean, for a start, it's a £9.85 billion difference.
Yeah, crazy, crazy. Please allow me to drop a bomb on this case already, because I really think that the payout can be expected to be 0.0, because exchanges are private companies and they can make any decision they like for any reason they like about the tokens and all the altcoins, and some people call them shitcoins, that they list on their platforms. So I think that will be reason enough for the judges to reject these claims of the BSV camp from the get-go. But well, you never know, of course, so let's see. Maybe the judges see some merits anyway that they want to discuss with the parties involved. You might remember that happened also in the pineapple hack case. One judge rejected the merits, but it ended up that Craig had it his way in appeal anyway. So you never know how a judge will roll with these things.
So that's the basis of the BSV claims case, and this week sees a 3-day collective proceedings order take place. This will see legal representatives from both camps put their case to the panel of judges who will decide whether or not to grant a CPO. If they do, then the case proceeds to the trial stage, which can take months or even years depending on the complexity. The important thing is for the CPO to be granted, which is all that BSV claims needs at this stage. That will show that the panel of judges is satisfied that the exchanges have a case to answer. Oh, and by the way, one of the judges who may be picked from the pool is a certain Mr. Justice Miller. Can you even imagine? We'll be back for an update on this case and, more importantly, the 7th of June hearing following the written ruling in the Coper v. Wright trial, where Craig Wright's fate will be decided following his evisceration at the hands of Justice Miller. Make sure you've got your podcast app alerts turned on so you don't miss a thing. Thanks very much for listening, and we'll speak to you again soon.